unusual place, Hamilton, like that, where, cause you just the way you describe it, like a third world country, like. So like I've only been to Vancouver, Canada, several times, and like Vancouver is a very clean city, and I imagine like Montreal, Toronto, like all the big cities are probably flourishing with like economic growth and such, and there's always opportunity. But like Hamilton, like I don't know, is there other places in Canada that are like similar to Hamilton where it kind of has more like a negative?
Yeah, parts of Montreal,
so
you mentioned it.
Yeah.
The Hells Angels have actually taken over. Even in Hamilton, there was a bar called Hells Angels. You could clearly see it. It was just it was a biker bar. You didn't want to go there and mess with them. Toronto was really rough, actually.
Probably parts of it, not like all of it.
Not all, but there's some major parts of TO that's really rough. Some parts of Scarborough, I'm sorry. I have friends that live there, and I knew people that lived in Jane and Finch Region Park. Those are like the Harlems, the Bronx types areas, where you see a lot of Haiti, Vietnamese people.
Oh yeah.
You see a lot of.
Well, because like in general, Toronto's been probably Montreal too, like very culturally diverse, right? Like there's a lot of different ethnicities.
I don't know too much about Montreal and in that part. I do know like there was some parts like that could be rough, but I know just in Ontario, you go to Mississauga, there's a lot of Middle Easterns, a lot of natives. So there was Indians. In certain parts of it, with that turf, those kind of people in that area, there was some dangerous neighborhoods, some sketchy neighborhoods. You could not do this at night in certain parts. So Ontario is pretty hot. Even going to that vigilante stuff, that's where I got my inspiration from, was this guy Justin Payne, who's from Brampton, and it's in Ontario, not too far from Hamilton. I was just surprised that I didn't know about him when I was living up there.
Oh, that's right, you talked about
I only knew about him when I moved down here.
Yeah, isn't that funny how it works? Like, it's like, I just learned about you, but I had to travel like thousands of miles away, rather than like, man, we were like in the same city. Like, how could I not know about you? How could you not know about me? Kind of thing.
And that was the thing. It's like that happened to. I was telling my friend. It's like I had to move to another country in one of the worst cities, one of the worst states, to appreciate what I had. Not just me, my entire family, to appreciate what we had, because we didn't appreciate nothing in my childhood. I did because I was just a kid. My family, we did. We always had 2 cars. We had good apartments, but we never appreciated. We didn't have that mentality like we're gonna get better, but we're great where we're at. We always wanted more, but we were being selfish, and we got less up north. And now that we're down here, we're living a lot better, but we're more appreciative. We're not being selfish. So we're not being.
I think it's like a common theme for like anybody going throughout life. As far as you have to go through that point in time where you get an appreciation for something. So whether you lose something you used to have, and then you get appreciation for it because you don't have it anymore, and it makes you realize like, wow, that was really good what I had, and now I'm back to like square one when I've never even experienced before, and then now I have to kind of climb my way back up to get back to what I originally had. And by that time you have like such a strong appreciation. It's like just like a common theme, like whether it's a practice or just a mindset, to have that appreciation for something, knowing how bad it can be, like with what you're describing.
And I mean, even just the people just push me to that edge where I have to get out. You know, when you're in an environment like that and you're about to make a big move, you know, you wait to get yourself situated. You know, let me save a couple bucks, let me get a good car, let me see if I can get a good job down here, and then when I'm ready and I've grown better, we can move. But it was nothing like that. We couldn't. We had to get out. It was like escaping prison. And, you know, going back to up north, like I was talking about that school, Mountain Secondary High School. That was my second high school I went to after I dropped out the first one. It was a lot of crazy schizophrenics, bipolars. I knew this one girl. She had a rare disease where she would pull her hair out and eat it.
Whoa.
And it was that extreme. We couldn't even afford medical detection. It was a small school, and we only had police officers staking out,
patrolling.
You know, because fights would break out like that. It was like I thought I was an asylum. Like, what the hell am I into? What did my parents put me into? And even just. I remember when my first day, I saw like kids that were barefoot, and I saw kids that came to school with pajamas on. I was like, what the hell is this? And I remember I was sitting like how we are right now in a board meeting with my parents, vice principal, and the guidance counselor, talking about, you know, how the school is, the school justice system, whatever. Here comes one of the teachers, walks right in and says, "Sir, we need to see you outside immediately." And my vice principal was trying to be professional because my parents are there. He's like, "I'm in a meeting right now. Can you just wait?" No, we have other students from other high schools selling drugs to our students.
Yeah.
We need you to get them out of there.
Yeah.
That was my first day on the job, or my first day of school. At that school. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's not just one particular school that's rough because maybe low budget or just bastard. It was all Hamilton. It was just all Hamilton. It was just, no matter how many times I moved, different areas, different locations, different friends, there was something with Hamilton. I had to get out. People were telling me, pastors, doctors telling me the city is cursed. The city is demonized. There was some histories where people were saying that long before when the whites took over, a native, one of the natives that was into witchcraft cursed the city and said, "You will suffer for taking our city." That's what I heard. It could be true. I don't know. I just knew I had to get out because I think if I was continuing living there, I would have been dead. For sure, I would have been, just by that kind of environment.
All right, let me ask you this then, because like you've said this many times, like you just knew you had to get out.
Yeah.
So what do you think caused you to have like this awareness or awakening where you just like, I knew I got to get out of this environment, versus like other people in Hamilton probably didn't, they might not have, I'm sure they might have felt that way, like I got to get out, but how come they didn't get out necessarily? Like they couldn't find the way, or
it was
like what separated you from getting out versus other people just getting stuck? And you can make this like comparison, like why a lot of people in like other parts of like maybe like the U.S. or whatever, they can't get out of like, you say the ghetto or whatever. Like
one, it's just some of them are just all talk. You know, some of them are all talk like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but some are just accepted it. Some are already dead on the inside. They don't care. Maybe because of the drugs, the environment is like there's no hope. I mean, where am I gonna go to? Some of them have that. I knew where I could go. I knew where I could be. I knew I didn't belong here. And I'm not a Canadian, no offense. I'm an American. I belong here. And there was just, years went by. There was nothing. It was just getting darker and darker. So I knew this is just not for me. For them, it was just, they were just lost. There was just no, I mean, it's just like, you know, some people just like, they're so used to it. They're just like, what's the point? Or some people are just
yeah, like they don't know any other different way, so they just kind of accept it, like this is how it's always going to be.
Because I accepted it and there's nothing I could do about it. Or some just
was there like ever a point that you could remember where like it sent you over the top as far as like this one moment happened, you're like, yeah, I definitely got to get out?
There was plenty like that. Yeah. Going back to Mountain Secondary, there was one incident where I had a friend. He was a good guy, you know, got a good sense of humor, you know, but he was a loose cannon, and I found out the hard way. I made a little joke to him. He was 1 year older than me, and when you're 18, you can sign yourself out of class. And so he was signing himself out. And I told him, "You all right, man?" He's like, "I'm just gonna leave." And I said, "Okay, well, if I see you in the streets, I'm paying $10. He took it as a part as I called him a bum. And we had a good conversation, but yesterday and the day before, and all of a sudden, he turned around, and I never seen a brown man's face turn so red in my life. It just went from, all right, man, whatever, to, let's go outside and let's do this, let's throw hands, you stupid F, censor. And I'm like, dude, you kissed your mother with the mouth? Chill out, I was joking with you, we were cool yesterday, what the heck, man? Like, he was just a ticking time bomb, and it was just 10 minutes of that, of him exploding into rage, threatening me in front of the teacher, threatening my life over a simple joke. And that was when, and I found out later, and I could kind of tell, yeah, he is schizophrenic. If you didn't know, I was like, you don't say, you know. I don't. You never thought a short-tempered schizophrenic would get that, which would erupt like that. That was one. Another was an incident where I was at an A1 Pizza, kind of like this, you know, we're at Starbucks. I was at A1 Pizza. That was the name of the store.
Is that just like in Canada? Is that a Canadian thing, A1 Pizza?
That's the name of the store. A name of the pizza place. From this Middle Eastern family. And this guy who I thought was a friend of mine, pulled up a butterfly knife on me, and the brass knuckle says, "Give me your money right now." He saw me put a change in my pocket, and I thought he was joking because he's a friend of mine. I was like, "You're trying to scare me?" No, he held it up to me, and he says some threatening words and some unkind words and some X-rated words and words that his mom should put soap in his mouth. And I was like, $5? My dude, I thought we were friends. No, we weren't friends after that anymore. And last time I saw him, he looks like a drug addict. He had a sweater that said Support 81, which is Hell's Angels.
Right.
I don't know if he's associated with that, because he used to say he was a Crip.
Right.
And so it looks like he has to change. There was other things too, but mainly it was my family. We were tearing each other up. And it was just like the movie The Shining or the Amityville Horror, where I think it was the Lutz family, the family before that, where the guy killed his family by accident, or he killed them. But as soon as he finished killing them, he woke up and was like, "What the hell happened?" And he later said it was the house. The house was haunted, and it was possessed by demonic things.
Yeah.
And it was actually built in a cemetery.
Yeah.
And The Shining was something like that. It was a Jack Nicholson movie. My family was doing that because it wasn't just the apartment we lived in; it was the entire city. We had to get out. That's when we just said we have to get out, because now my family and I, we are so cleansed. We're so happy now, just with each other, and we're inseparable, and we just look like an all-American family. But you would never think we would go through something like that, and it's very sad. But it was just that those animals up north, I don't miss it one bit. So if I can may add to the bullies that are watching this, fuck you.
I think you were talking earlier when we were just like when we first met up. You said like you found, I don't know how you said it, you found, or did you get in contact with like some bullies you had? Did you say something like that, or you just like, or you found on like over social media or whatever, like what they're up to right now, like the bullies?
Some of them, yeah, some of them. I think I might have said something like that.
Did you just primarily have bullying, like you experienced bullying like when you're in high school, or just even younger than that?
Just younger, when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
That was the youngest I went to. A little bit in 5th grade, but 7th grade was more my darkest.
Was it more kind of like verbal stuff, or was it more like, is there actually physical,
both,
or just like threatening more?
both physical and verbal. It always starts off with verbal and it ends up to physical.
Yeah.
And I couldn't fight to defend myself. I was just so scared. I was so fragile and low self-esteem. So I never showed them, but there were times I would go to the bathroom, like, "Sir, can I use the bathroom?" That was my teacher.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to use the bathroom. I just wanted to get away from them. Away from them.
Yeah.
And it was just me crying.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of this stuff on the news. Kids killing kids because of bullying. Kids are murdering each other or killing themselves because of that. And that's why I say if I was still living up there, I don't know what would happen to me.
Right.
So that's why I'm very thankful to be down here.
Yeah.
Very thankful.
Yeah, you would certainly be wearing a different hat, a different necklace, different shirt, different pair of shoes if you were still up in Hamilton.
Yeah. Probably be in an orange jumpsuit or a nice suit in the coffin. Just like I couldn't take it no more.
Yeah.
It was so dark. It's just like, I don't know if you've ever seen the show. There's a prison show on HBO called Oz.
Oz?
Yeah.
No.
It's a powerful prison show. But one of the characters that I talk about this, going back to about Hamilton, how dark it was this guy Oz. This guy Tobias Beecher. He had no street skills, he was just this white goody good, blue collar, white collar man who did a mistake. He was driving drunk and hit a girl, and he was serving 10 years to life in prison. I don't know. And he was just this four-eyed looking, soft as butter dude, and he was a successful lawyer. He just made one mistake, but prison turned him out. He was this very wealthy, polite man to licking other man's shoes, dressing like a woman, starving himself. He just snapped and became deranged because of that environment. He snapped. He was now an animal. He was now being put in a hole. He was being detained. He was being put in the worst cells ever. He was not the same man he was outside, a father. And that's